you can see that what you do is you pretend to be people's friends. You find out what they want, what their weakness is, and you give it to them. If they want money, you give them money. If they want sex, you arrange for that. If they want drugs, you arrange for that. Whatever it is they want, their weakness is, you feed them. And then you tell them, okay, I'm doing all this for you and I just need these little favors. And you corrupt them. And you corrupt them until you can control them. And of course, you know what they're doing, so you can always blackmail them if they try to get out of line. But basically what controls them is the knowledge that if they don't go along with you, then they lose out on all these things they like. You know, if they play ball with you, then they become rich, they become famous, they have all of their desires sated, they get everything that they want, but in a mental state which is increasingly depraved and subject to manipulation. And that's also the Venetian method, that you win by corruption. And that the thing that the empire fears most of all is an honest man who isn't corruptible because he doesn't want those things.
Hey, Shalom, it's your brother JUN14. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say Shalom to all the brothers, of course, the few sisters pursuing this truth in sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your house. Abaratazah, this lesson is edifying. All right, now I ran that clip in the beginning just to illustrate to you those tactics are very prevalent in every facet of society. Why? The wicked are in power. Okay? And secondly, everybody is attached to carnal gain in this society. Everybody is possessed by possessions. They want things. Okay? What separates the elect from all the people that are wanting so many things? The elect, first and foremost, want righteousness to go forth. A soul that craves righteousness and walks in it can't be perverted. They got a saying in the world, if you want to manipulate a person, you give them what they want or you take it away. That's how you control people. You give them what they want or you take it away. The thing about the elect men of the nation of Israel is they want the kingdom of heaven to be established. Esau can't give or take that away, which makes us the most dangerous people on the planet. Because we can't be bought off. We can't be, persuaded to, go along to get along. We're not going to turn a blind eye to evil. When you go to Ezekiel 9:4, it says the elect are going to be doing what? Sighing and crying for the abominations being done in the midst thereof. You see? You got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to ask yourself these questions like, damn, am I really about the kingdom of heaven? Is that what I'm longing for? And when you start to read and pay attention to the signs of the times, it happens by default if the Lord is dealing with you. All right, but let's go to we're gonna read a couple precepts just to back up what I'm saying with the righteous words, like it says in Isaiah 8:20. If they speak not according to his words, because there's no light in them. Or 1 Peter 4:11. If any man speak, let him do it as the oracles of God. But this is Ecclesiastes 7:7, and go to the point. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So nail on the head what the Edomite was talking about in the beginning clip. Well, it looked to be an Edomite, right? This isn't a complexion thing. Those are the tactics that the wicked use, and that's not going to change leading up to the climax of this movie. Make sure that you're not one that could be bribed, or that you'll veer off the path of the mission for the sake of anything carnal here on this side. The scriptures tell you what? Those that seek to save their life shall lose it. And those who lose their life for my sake shall find it. Eternal life, right? So make sure your spirit's in the right place. Make sure you're using your grace period properly, because our grace period is coming. It's coming to an end. It ain't gonna be forever. All right. Now let's go get it in the law. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Let's go to Deuteronomy 16 and 19. It says, thou shalt not. Actually, let's read it in the NLT. Deuteronomy 16:19. You must never twist justice or show partiality, meaning being a respecter of persons. Because in this society, what? If a rich man, gets into trouble, he'll get a slap on the wrist. But let just the ordinary Jake, an ordinary Israelite, do the same thing. They're going to throw the book at him. That's not how justice is supposed to operate. But it is in this kingdom. Even check it out. With the people that wear the little hats on their heads that claim to be us, they could create a pedo act here in America. But because they're a so-called Israeli citizen, instead of being brought to justice here, they could just go back to Israel and walk free. Did you know that? They could commit heinous acts here with children and skip out on the charges and just go back to their country. Is that justice? All right, let's read this again. Deuteronomy 16:19. You must never twist justice or show partiality. Never accept a bribe, for bribes blind the eyes of the wise and corrupt the decisions of the godly. Stay away from, and that's what he's doing. That's what Esau's doing all the way down to the low-level people. He's giving you all this technology. He's giving you all this convenience. Okay? Giving you more technology under the guise of safety. Giving you this fast food. Giving you everything just quick. Everything's quick. It's right there at the tip of your fingers. And what he's getting ready to do is snatch it all away. And people are going to be like crack fiends, having withdrawals once everything is snatched away. And that's when he wins, because he has you where he wants you. Now you're willing to do anything just to get that convenience back, that sense of normalcy back. Which is why the scriptures tell us what? Come out of her, my people, for it shall destroy you with the sword of destruction. It's okay to use the things here, but you shouldn't be attached to them to where you need it. That's why it's good sometimes to pull back from a lot of things. Okay? Now let's go to Proverbs 17:23. It says what? A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of justice. Again, don't be this guy. And that was always the problem in Israel. When you look at Samuel and his sons, right? They were perverting justice. And it always led to corruption and the moral corruption in the minds of our people. It's like a virus. It spreads. Let's go to just to back up what I'm saying. Go to 1 Samuel 8:1, and we'll read it in the NLT here. It says, as Samuel grew old, he appointed his sons to be judges over Israel. Joel and Abijah, his oldest sons, held court in Beersheba. But they were not like their father, for they were greedy for money. They accepted bribes and perverted justice. Finally, all the elders of Israel met at Ramah to discuss the matter with Samuel. Look, they told him, you are now old and your sons are not like you. Give us a king to judge us like all the other nations. So them being wicked ass niggas led the elders of Israel to ask for a king, which the Lord didn't want us to have a king. Okay. And the king Saul was commanded to kill off Amalek, which he didn't do. And now look, Amalek fucking up the whole world today, and we in captivity. It just spirals into so much bullshit. Okay? But the Lord allowed us to see what the end of evil is. Because like in the beginning, in Genesis, it talks about us being as gods, knowing both good and evil. You can't be a god and not know the full spectrum of what happens when good happens and what happens when wickedness happens. You got to see the whole thing. You got to see the whole field. So, we're in these chains of darkness witnessing both sides. Use your grace period wisely, man. So, Abaratazah, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught us the truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to all the brothers And of course, if you sisters pursuing this truth and sincerity, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.